Hello, beautiful, wonderful internet people. My name's Kayla, and I do art sometimes. That's a lie. I actually do art all the time. It's kind of my full-time job. Not this illustration bit. I'm an apparel designer, but anyway, I do art, and I want to share my art with you guys. It's been a super long time since I've done a video. This kind of thing doesn't come naturally to me at all. If that wasn't blatantly obvious, I just spelt it out for you. I'm an incredibly awkward person. I have a lot of trouble getting like a stream of thought going and having it make sense, but I'm trying, so please bear with me. I wanted to share with you guys my current illustration process in Procreate. I love using Procreate. It's probably my favorite drawing software that I've ever touched in all of my illustration career. So I'm using an iPad Pro, an 11-inch iPad Pro, and the second generation Apple Pencil. And that bit at the beginning was my underdrawing. I didn't film a lot of it because I didn't plan on filming this, honestly. I've had this footage stockpiled since like the middle of quarantine. I actually hate using the word quarantine because that would imply that I'm sick, and I'm not sick. I'm just social distancing and self-isolating whenever possible. Anyways, so the underdrawing, I use the Narender pencil to clean up my sketch, and then I use the technical pencil to drop in all of those values. That's really where the meat of the drawing happens. It's what takes the most time. IMO, I make sure all the values are where I want them, and I use the red, this like carmine red color, because one, when I work traditionally, I do all of my sketching in a carmine red coal erase pencil, so it kind of just visually mimics that for me. And two, I find that the red color is the easiest middle point to manipulate from. So you'll notice me go in and out of the hue and saturation tool quite a fair bit here in Procreate, and I do that to adjust, certain colors if I don't like the way they look mixed in with the other colors. I'll just go in and adjust them, and I also use that to adjust the underdrawing. So if sometimes when it shows through the color layer, the lines that show through they don't match the color of the fill. And the fills are set to linear burn. The layer setting is linear burn. This allows the color to remain like as vibrant as it is, but the lines underneath it will show through. I figured this out with a lot of trial and error. It was a lot of messing around with layer settings, figuring things out, and I honestly figured out the brushes I like to use by going through all of the different options that are in Procreate. I just sat down one day and I tried a bunch of them until I found a couple that really worked for me and really helped me to emulate my traditional drawing process, which is very sketchy, very textured. There are a lot of different ways you can do this too. It's not just about the brushes. You can use texture packs, you can use masks for layers and all that jazz, but this is just the easiest way that I've found, and I like it. I think it's the perfect marriage between my, oh my god, I love saying that. It makes me sound like such an intellectual. The perfect marriage, the perfect harmony between my traditional and digital coloring styles. So what I've just done to work on the background actually is another important note about this process that I do, which is that to make sure that the linear burn technique is like preserved, if you want to draw behind the character, I always put a white fill behind the character so that way I can work on the background and it doesn't disrupt any of that. I'm also adding in some more texture here with the technical pencil on my sketch layer or my underdrawing layer, and because the layers on top are set to linear burn, the lines aren't coming out red, they're coming out more of like a dull purple, a little bit of a blue. So I discovered this process through a lot of trial and error, but I'm super duper happy with it. I've had a lot of time during lockdown to kind of just think about my process, my art, what my art means to me, and what kind of message I want to send with my art. And even though I'm not becoming a teacher, I think part of part of why I love to do art is because you can learn something from it. You can share it with people and they will be like, oh, that's how you do that. Cool, great. And I know this from firsthand experience. During lockdown, I've been watching so many art YouTubers sharing their process and what they've been up to and what they've been making during this time especially, and it's great and I appreciate them so much for it. And it does nothing but inspire me to share my process with others because they inspired me. So if I can be that voice for somebody else, if I can send that message to somebody else at some point, that would just be fantastic, and I would be over the moon about that. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm aiming to do here. I don't know how consistently I'm gonna upload. I really would like to try to do it every other 2 weeks, but I'm not too sure how realistic that is given how difficult this is for me sometimes, how limited my free time is now that I'm back to work. But we shall see. I have a couple of things planned. I would like to do a sketchbook tour. I just finished my sketchbook. I've had it since November, and I finally finished all of the pages, like cover to cover, almost. I think there's 2 pages I didn't use. But I'm excited about that. So maybe I'll share a sketchbook tour. I have a couple other illustrations that I've been working on that I might film a little bit. I don't know if we're up to studio vlogs yet. I love watching studio vlogs, but I'm terribly uncomfortable in front of a camera. So we'll just have to see how that goes. So in the video right now, I exported the Procreate file to a PSD, a Photoshop document, and imported it into Adobe Photoshop on my laptop. And I'm using the adjustment layers to make sure that all of the values are where I want them to be, and to make sure, or to get some glowing effects around those little doodle stars that I added in there at the end. And then just to print it out and hang it up on my wall. Yeah, so that's kind of, I don't want to say that's all I've got for you. I'm still thinking. I've got a lot of thoughts in my brain about art as of late, and as I mentioned earlier, this time spent in lockdown has made me really consider what art means to me and what I want to do with my art. And I think I just want to educate, to share, and if I can do that in as simple a way as showing you guys how I draw and Procreate, then that would be cool, and that might be enough for me, I think. I was originally an art education major, and then that kind of went downhill a little bit. I work full-time as an apparel designer right now, which is pretty cool and fun, and I enjoy it. I wish it left me with a little bit more creative energy to do this kind of stuff, but, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. I live in Brooklyn, New York, and I gotta pay my rent, and I gotta feed my cats. I have 2 wonderful little babies. You'll see one of them later on in this video. I actually just got another cat recently, so he's not present in this video, but my boy Rocket is there, and we love him. He's great. So yeah, basically, I'm trying really hard to keep my artistic priorities in check and think really long and hard about why I'm doing the things that I do, and make sure that my time is well spent making things that I want to make and sharing that with my friends, my family, and the people that I care about, and anybody else who wants to watch for that matter. So I want to say thank you to a lot of the people who are supportive of me. I want to thank you for watching, whoever you are. I think you're really, really great. I think you're super awesome. Our time is super valuable right now, and there's so much media out there to consume, so the fact that you're choosing to spend some time with me today is it's pretty neat. So yeah, here's the finished illustration. I wish I had more to say about it. This was a drawing challenge that was super relevant at the beginning of quarantine or lockdown, but it's not super relevant anymore. I just had all this footage and I wanted to share it with you. There's my boy Rocket. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to be back with another video very, very soon. Hope you have a nice day, and take care.